too, it gets into this whole concept of name and form, where there's tonality associated with the manifestation of interstellar technologies. And I call this transdimensional interstellar, TDIS, is a term that I'm introducing, because it is, most people think of, well, they see a UFO and they're thinking, well, it's kind of like a 747, and they can be fully materialized like that. But if they are, you'll notice they have no seams. The light coming from them is like not of this world, because everything is so pure, because the way they materialize and the way they even manifest these spacecraft is through a type of manufacturing where the tonality, a tone is set up deep, emanating from the conscious astral realm, and it comes from there into three-dimensional manifestation. So even the physical materials and lights and metals are incredibly pure, more pure than you can make even in the vacuum of space. And I know scientists who've studied some of the remains of craft that if they have been materialized and we've shot them down and destroyed them, that the materials are unbelievably pure alloys and pure stuff. And that's why the light that you see when you're on these expeditions, when you see these objects, it doesn't look like a light from a flashlight or a light from a headlight or a house window. It has this extraordinary radiance and purity and crystalline quality to it, I think. Don't you think, Trudy?
Absolutely. Oh, yes. They're alive. They're absolutely alive.
Right.
So.
Which is another thing to remember. One of the things I introduce is the idea of conscious nanobio machines, and that is that the ET craft are an extension of the ET consciousness and their life, and they're actually living crystalline objects that are conscious but also are biological, that you get a sense that they're living and intelligent and conscious, even if it's the craft itself. And it's almost like the level of artificial intelligence is so advanced from these civilizations that even the spacecraft have a living conscious quality to them, which they do. And so it's simply not the same as a Lockheed Martin anti-gravity. I mean, we do have classified projects that have studied this area of science and have made anti-gravity craft, but those things have an incredibly different feeling because they're just machines. And the actual extraterrestrial vehicles, people say, how do you tell the difference between an alien reproduction vehicle, or ARV, versus an ET spacecraft? I said, oh, it's like night and day. Once you experience both, as we have on these expeditions, there's really no comparison at all.
I would like to tell our audience about something that I saw. I saw it, but it's important. I saw up in the sky about 50 degrees. It was like, if you can picture half of a wine cork, and it was that size and shape, a light in the sky. And the top half was black, gray, and white. It was downward streaks on it. The bottom half was cream-colored. Now, I saw this for maybe 2 seconds or more, and that's a long time to see these objects. But instead of it fading away or blinking out, it imploded on itself.
Right.
And I had never seen that before. I'd heard about it, but I had never seen it. And it was so close to materialization. 1 iota more, and it would have been material.
Right.
But it imploded on itself.
Right, and what that is that it's actually folding back into transdimensional space-time. So if you visualize linear space-time and the speed of matter and electrons and the speed of light, there's other dimensions that are faster or at different frequencies and resonant frequencies, and that's what your astral body is. But you can be between the two. So in other words, this is sort of like when something is emerging from this interdimensional realm and beginning to appear in three-dimensional space-time, and then when it vanishes, it literally folds back into and folds in on itself. And I have seen this a number of times, and it's really, when you see it, you never forget it.
It was the most amazing thing. It was, it's just one of those things that kind of changes you at your core because it's so incredible. So, another thing I would like to mention, it was with you and me, Steve, as we were joining hands during a meditation, Steve said he saw a large light on the horizon, and when he said that, I know at the exact same time he saw his light on the horizon, I saw this large flare of light shine across the sand in the midst of our circle.
Right in the circle.
Right in the circle. At the exact same time you saw the light on the horizon.
Right. And we had a number of objects that came in that were brilliant. During one of the breaks, we had two brilliant, almost like starbursts of blindingly bright light, like someone had a flashbulb camera and took it off. But more pure than that appeared within 50 feet or so of where the circle and where our spot was on this beach. We were at a state park beach that was just fantastic sight. It was amazing. I think almost certainly we're going to go back there next year. And we had it just for our group, and there was nobody else there. And it was this object that came in, and it was a celestial God consciousness ET arrival, just like we've seen at Mount Shasta, and also where we've been in Joshua Tree, where we've been in meditation. And a brilliant burst of light will occur just above the group, inside the circle, that's so bright that people can see the veins of their eyelids. And it's this download of energy that's interstellar civilizations. But these are incredibly advanced civilizations where if you can visualize it, it'd be like the story of the Shambhala kingdom on Earth, where everyone was in a state of enlightenment and God consciousness, where there's an entire worlds that have evolved that are millions of years more developed than we are here on Earth. That all of their technology, all of their technology and all of their sciences are emanating from that level of consciousness, from the celestial level, but they're physical. And when they arrive, there can be this arrival of energy and just pure light. And it is the word pure light, it gets overused, but it is like that. There's a purity to it and a power and an energy associated with it